Coming to you live at 0800 hours, 56 minutes, Sunday, May 5th, 2019. I did a recording in the past. It became a video on white synopsis on the white man. This is the synopsis on the white woman. As I talk to people, we forget women birth men. Women groom men. Women nurture men, and women bore men into this world. And we forget about that sometimes. So as we blame the man as much, it's not the blame towards the women, because we have forgot the woman have power. I don't care what we keep saying on this earth, what we keep trying to allude to, this is a man's world. The woman has power. The woman bores the baby to this earth. The man inseminates her, and the seed get covered, and her womb becomes the shell. And the shell is the soil where we plant the seed, and after 9 to 10 months, the baby is born, so the baby is harvested to this earth. I can see why we look at a lot of plant life and animal life, but when it comes to us as beings, our being of who we are, the cycle of life is totally different. We have no ultimate universal alignment to any animal. We're not evolved from an animal, and we're not born from an animal. We have nothing to it, the cycle of life. The only part of life is the system of what we call the ecosystem, where we all fall in line. So it's called the chain of command, predator, prey. In the animal kingdom, which we revert back in the biblical kingdom, we got a high titles. We have the alpha, the omega. And then we have the beta and the zeta and the gamma. See, we forget about those. So where do they place come in? We have a leader and a follower. But we no longer in the times where we need leaders. We need strong people within ourselves. So this is synopsis is to white women. And as black women, quote unquote, I will use black in this case. Black is the slave word. Dark people, pure white was our original name, pure white. Because when they seen us, white mean clean. It means to be cleansed. And they seen that we were clean because we did not contract, or intract the same diseases that they have received. So the reason of them coming to us, because they was already colonized. They colonized each other from their race. So they became one race called Caucasoids. So they became one big race. Then they realized we have to exchange races to order and to survive. And who birthed the children? The woman. So if you paid attention to the cycle of life, black women and black men, you are a destroyer to your race if you decide to go out. I don't care what you say. You cannot make sense of the agony, the pain, the defeat of what we call African descendant people, in that we're going to make the same claim that their past don't equate to our era of what we see, ERA to the ERROR as we see of today. So our women, our race of women will excuse the other race of men for all that they've done and the things they're doing now compared to their own race of men, because they love to compare, and they draw a conclusion that we are the worst. So they took on the form as the white woman. So the white woman ordeal in this was to use their order, propaganda, and their rules, RUEL, to trick of the mind. See, nobody talks about this. If I make a statement about any man, could that statement be made for every man? So why do we, and this is what our women will do, why do the statement only categorize only our own race of men as a whole, but when we categorize them, they're as a separate individual. But aren't we all born one at a time out the womb? Don't matter if you a triplet or sextuplet, you come out of the womb one at a time. So that makes you a individual, single, one. So with that being said, black term was given to us because the term black is a slave name because they depicted the word black and dark as evil. Because without no light, there is dark. That's all dark and black supposed to mean. But throughout time, everything became black or dark has been of the bad annotation. That became part of our semantics, our linguistics, our vocabulary, our pronunciation, our part of our biblical understanding, the Bible that they gave. Excuse me. So, I asked my own race of women, if your race of men is bad, who birthed them? If their race of women, of any other race of women, if their men, their sons and daughters are bad, who birthed them? So if you're going to go with that logic, and that's why I don't really speak about women and talk to women, because women will say I am attacking them for understanding and truth. And they say this is not love. But how is this not love? I advocate for you. I promote you. I honor you. I give you the utmost respect. I don't call you a queen. Go look up the word, the etymology of the word queen, the original meaning of the word queen. You will stop using it. I use the word empress. And emperor, we are kings. We are emperors. They tried to take that away from us because they know the strength that we have. That's why we go through such more of a struggle. Because we ought not know who we truly are. That's why I always keep asking us, who are we? And now I understand my purpose. My purpose is to find out who we are. Not through the Pan-Africanism, not through the Moors, not through slavery. But that history is very vital. So as soon as you start intermingling and interracialize, you destroy part of history that you're never going to show your child. The only history you're going to show them is the destruction of your people. And that's what you're not going to do. Because that's underlining, you're telling me you hate yourself. Because you won't talk about what they done to you, but you're only going to talk about what your own race of men done to you, because that's what you have surrounded yourself with. Now you surround yourself with other races of men, the women will not give them the same demonization. They won't bash them, they won't degrade them, they won't bash them, degrade, and attack the same way. Because based on your skin color. But remember, all skin folks is not kin folks. So that's my message to you. If I have vice versa, man and woman of African descent. If you are aligned to any race, you are no longer my brother or sister. I don't care how the world put it. I don't care what your biblical fakeness say. Because in a biblical reference, this is a reference. It's not the guide to life. It's not the book of life. It's a reference of our history of how they destroyed us and how we can gain. But if you're going to say their parables and their syllables is supposed to get us back to who we are, that's a reference to who we are. We ought not know or who we are. So the synopsis of white women was the propaganda to trick you women. And since you don't see that, and since you are preaching and teaching your young daughters to hate their fathers, you will help be the destroyer of the nation. Because when you destroy the room, the nation, you destroy the nation. And if the women is the nation, because the women birth children, the man protect and provide. And if you create a society where men are at disadvantages and is not as equal as in the things they can receive, you created the perfect control society. So what I say unto one, I say unto all, is your path, is your journey, is your choice. So choose wisely. And I say that with all. My purpose is to find out who we are, and what you're doing, you're running away farther from who we are. Everybody else in this world, every race have been colonized except us. We still the only race that have a little bit of something of everything in us, but it's not fully controlling us. Until we understand that, we will fall under the synopsis, the way they can control us. Selah.